Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you new here, I'm Anna Daly, certified personal trainer, jiu-jitsu competitor and athlete, and most recently bodybuilding NPC athlete and 3-time medaling fit model in different divisions and categories at my very first show. So if you're here, we are here to be on a fitness journey together, and I am not a 20-something influencer that can tell you to get your dream physique by eating clean and having good vibes, when literally those girls could take naps whenever they want and stay fit eating cheesecake and Cheetos and ice cream cake all day long at the ages and fitness levels that they're at. I am a mother of 3, carried and delivered all of my children, and have been through all the weight fluctuations, hormone fluctuations, ups and downs that you can imagine. I am a former out of shape girl turned into athlete and have been on this journey for a while. In the process, I became a personal trainer so that I could help others along this journey. I've been doing that for the last 6 years in both big box gyms to jiu-jitsu gyms and helping fighters on the mats and those going into the cage, and now have my own online training platform where I can help hundreds of people get into the best shape of their life and reach their fitness goals. And just come along on this journey on the way if that's something that you're interested in. And if you're curious about real science, real results, and how to get your own fitness goals accomplished, you're in the right place. So without further ado, let's dive in. So about a year ago, I was having coffee with my brother, and he mentioned that he was using ChatGPT to be his personal trainer. This definitely raised an eyebrow out of me, because up until that point, anytime he needed a personal training question answered, he would just text his big sister and I would tell him exactly what he needed to do. But sometimes, as can happen, I get caught up into my own personal training clients, or my kids have stuff that comes up that takes priority over it. So of course he felt more comfortable asking ChatGPT, and many of you might be in the exact same boat. So I figured, with this new wave of the fear of personal training in my job being at stake for the AI and robots that are going to take over the world, I would share with you guys how you could use ChatGPT as a tool for yourself to reach your own fitness goals. Now, admittedly, being a Gen Y/millennial, I am very slow to embrace new technology. I didn't even get on Facebook until 2009, and I remember telling my coworkers around 2012, 2013 that I didn't understand the point of Instagram, and I only joined it because I wanted to share photos of my new baby and my pregnancy around 2012, 2013. So I was very reluctant, and am still very reluctant, to embrace new technology in our ever-growing advancements that just seem to happen year by year, everything going so fast. So I would rather adventure in a new country and I lose my phone all the time. You can ask Satya that if it wasn't for the ping feature on the iPhone, I might never ever find it. And if I've ever ghosted you guys, I'm so sorry. It's probably because I just couldn't find my phone, because I'm off hiking or adventuring somewhere, because like Belle, I need adventure in the great wide somewhere every single moment that I'm not working. Here is how I would use ChatGPT as a personal trainer myself to get the best results out of a fitness plan tailored for me. Number 1, a huge question that I would ask myself before I would consider hiring ChatGPT to be my personal trainer is to assess and tell the truth to yourself if you will really do the dang thing every day and show up for a robot. As a personal trainer of 6 years now, having trained in big box gym and online, I can't tell you the number of times that I've been ghosted at 6 a.m. or ghosted for a weekly check-in with my own clients. And I'm a real person with real emotions on the other side of an app or on the other side of a gym, waiting for them to show up and do the plan. I can't tell you how many I've slept through my alarm texts, or I just feel like I'm gonna throw up. Well, yes, we know it's 6 a.m. that I've gotten and been ghosted for at the gym. The best one, I will say, is when you get the "I'm just so tired, I feel like I'm going to throw up" text, and then the partner of the person that you're training texts you and asks if you're at a different gym because they saw that the Apple Watch was training at a different gym at 6 in the morning when they've already texted you and said that they ghosted you. What am I supposed to say to that?
Hey, listen, if anybody asks you, we was out smashing mailboxes, okay?
What?
And even if your clients are showing up, sometimes they aren't showing up in their full capacity and can't because they have 10 other things going on in their lives, and they want to blame it on hormone imbalances or cortisol or some other conspiracy theory, when the reality is that they aren't showing up for themselves with you in person with your training plan. They're not eating correctly, they're not sleeping, they're not managing stress, they're not drinking water, and they're eating like an a-hole. And then they're blaming it on cortisol and hormone imbalances. I'm looking at you, Linda. Your body isn't Amazon Prime, and it's not going to show up within a week or even a month. You need to be patient, and you need to be able to be consistent in whatever process you apply. So if you have been unsuccessful in training apps, and if you've been unsuccessful even in simple steps like drinking water every day or just logging and weighing food on MyFitnessPal, you might not succeed with ChatGPT or showing up for a robot every day that doesn't have feelings and isn't going to hold you accountable to your training plan. But if you're a firstborn daughter like me, or a type A personality that will in fact show up for a robot, and you love Excel spreadsheets, then this might be the right training plan for you. But before you dive in, know yourself, know if you'll show up, and be honest about if this can happen. Remember, flexibility is fine, but consistency is where the magic happens. Caution number 2, and to be fair, this is also applicable to all training apps and long distance personal training. It was my biggest hurdle to overcome when I transferred as a personal trainer in a box gym to a personal trainer online in 2020 when the pandemic hit. As many of you know, and we're probably in the same boat if you're also a personal trainer. There are many types of clients out there, and to those of you who are trainers, you'll know sometimes when you get one type of client, you give them the technique and the move once, and they execute it beautifully, and they need very little coaching on how to do that technique to their body to get the best results out of that move. And then there's other clients who are more like me. These clients have very little body awareness, and they take extra coaching and extra skill to get to the exact same results that those naturally gifted clients take. I am the same way in exercise as I am with jujitsu, and in posing, as I found out in bodybuilding. Doing them over Zoom, doing them over an app is just really difficult for me, and I do much better with in-person, hands-on, put your body here, put your hips here, and very, very exact coaching to engage the right muscles, to engage the right look, and to execute the proper form that isn't going to get me hurt. So if you're the same type of way, I can't be more compassionate to your situation, because I am you. I am in your exact situation. So that is number 2 thing to consider, is that you want to make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself through not being able to execute the proper form. If you're concerned about your form, once again, ChatGPT might not be the best. Make sure you can get somebody on a Zoom call, or make sure that you can get somebody in person. Point number 3, ChatGPT can't answer a lot of questions if you don't know how to program it. For example, if you just tell ChatGPT, I want to lose 15 pounds in 5 weeks, it can tell you how to do that. The question that you need to be asking is, should you do that? Is it safe? And is that doctor approved? Is that a SMART goal? Specific, measurable, realistic, timely, attainable, all those things. I said them out of order, but you get the whole gist. You need to be able to tell ChatGPT exactly how to program it in the exact way that you want so you get the best results possible, which is why I'm making this video to teach you how a trainer would talk to ChatGPT to get a physique goal, for example. Now, this is going to be very different to what you want to do. For example, if you're a man who's 6'5" wanting to gain weight for a specific physique, then your calories and your numbers are going to be much higher than, say, a 5'2" girl who wants to know how they can get bigger glutes and a better stage package the next show. So the measurements that you need to know are not going to be through your smart scale or through an InBody. These two measurements, the smart scale and the InBody, use a system called bioelectrical impedance. And those spend an electrical current through your body to estimate the muscle and fat percentages that you have on a day-to-day basis. Now, the advertising around this is, oh, it'll show you if you're dehydrated, it'll show you what's fat and what's muscle. But truly, the science has been done around all of these, and even I myself have gotten DEXA scans done on the same day that I did my InBody scans, and as I said in my last video, there was over a 7% difference on the same morning with the same preparation. So the DEXA scan and the other more scientific methods are still the gold standard for what you want to achieve through knowing exactly what your body is. But you also don't want to be getting DEXA scans every single week. You want to be using the bioelectrical impedance. Now, I will caveat, use the same scale. If you're going to use an InBody, keep using an InBody the same time, the same day, the same week. Be consistent. Also, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this because most people know this, but just in case, because I have seen people at the gym just weighing themselves at 4 o'clock on a Thursday after their workout, after they've already had lunch, and I'm like, what are you doing there, Steve? Because the most accurate way that you're going to weigh is not at that time. It's going to be in the morning after you have emptied your stomach, if you know what I mean. It's going to be before you've had water, and it's going to be fasted. And clothes, no clothes, up to you. But I will say, try to have the same amount on so that the scale isn't measuring your clothing, because it will. And you need to keep in mind that if you're weighing every single day, or even if you're weighing 3 times a week, there's so many things that can affect that bioelectrical impedance number, such as how much salt did you have the day before? Did you have a heavy training session the day before and you're a little bit inflamed? Are you a little bit backed up? There's so many things that can influence those. So what you're looking for as far as measuring progress, even on your own or with ChatGPT, is a progression over time. I know that all of this might sound super boring, but people do get really hung up on that scale number, and I want to tell you what it's all about. So remember, DEXA scan every few months, bioelectrical impedance, and regular measuring. Just some feedback for if we're going in the right direction. Is the needle moving in the right direction? Are we going where we want to go? So after you get your DEXA scan, you are going to input that into ChatGPT, and I am going to show you how. The other thing that you're going to need to know, hopefully you've logged, because if you cannot log into MyFitnessPal or a meal logger, and you can't log how much water you're drinking, ChatGPT is not going to be the consistent journey for you that is a lifetime success that you wish that it is. You're going to need to hire someone to keep you accountable or find a method that works for you. So you're going to tell ChatGPT how much water you drink every day. You're going to tell ChatGPT your body fat percentage. You're going to tell it your lean mass. You're going to tell it how muscular you are. And then you're going to tell it what your goals are, and it's going to help make you a plan. So be realistic. You are not going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger unless you've been training like Arnold Schwarzenegger for the same amount of time. You're not going to look like Gal Gadot unless you have her genetics and you've been training for the exact same time that she has. You're not going to look like that in 6 weeks, especially if you've got 50 plus pounds to lose. So be realistic and don't do dangerous, dumb things. If you want to talk about the world of dangerous, dumb things, I come from the sport of jiu-jitsu. I have seen fighters get intestinal blockages. I've seen them cut sodium 3 weeks plus out because it's tradition. I have seen people cut calories way too low and try all sorts of dumb, dangerous things. Also in bodybuilding, how many bodybuilders do we see all the time that are dying because they dehydrated themselves to a very dangerous point, which honestly, I have to tell you, is not even the smartest way to train. The smartest way to train, this is why I forget my phone everywhere, guys, because screw this. So if you want to talk about a smarter way to approach stage, think about it, guys. Muscles, if you're trying to dehydrate yourself to stage to have that bodybuilder physique look, I'm giving you the dumb stamp, the dunce hat, the cone of shame. Think about it. If you're doing that, you weren't lean enough. What you need to do is you need to be plumping up your muscles at that point, because think about a hydrated muscle versus a dehydrated muscle. I'm looking at you guys because bodybuilders, shame, shame, shame. Stop trying the dangerous stuff. Train smarter. And hopefully I can teach you how to use either your personal trainer or your ChatGPT trainer to do this in the smartest way possible. So, with all the warnings and caveats that I have mentioned, if you know that you're going to stick with it and be consistent with a system like ChatGPT, if you are a logging magical fairy unicorn who is type A and can show up for yourself and keep promises to yourself without somebody managing you, and if you know how to keep yourself safe in the gym with the correct form and the correct fitness safety measures, then you're good to proceed. So without further ado, here we go with a personal trainer talking to ChatGPT. The exact same questions that I would ask it are the exact same questions you should be asking, only the answers are going to be different and tailored to your own fitness plans and body. Okay, so I recorded an entire segment 3 times with ChatGPT and forgot to hit record the last time, so you guys get to see, hopefully in a much shorter segment, what I asked it, and it didn't talk back to me in a fancy way. So here's what I asked it as a personal trainer for physique goals. So I asked it, what is my BMR, the basal metabolic rate? This is the number of calories that it takes to run all your organs, your heart, your lungs, your liver, your brain, if you were in a coma. So, or laying on the couch all day, not moving, not doing anything. So it's going to ask you an estimate, your age, your weight, your gender, your height, and your body fat percentage. It says if you know it, and I'm going to show you the difference in numbers between an estimate and fully accurate, and this is why you want a DEXA scan. So here we are. There's my numbers. So it calculated it based on those numbers at 1,170. And it started doing my TDEE, my total daily energy expenditure. So like if you have a desk job, if you don't move at all, if you're an athlete, and then it went right into cutting and stage conditioning. But because I recently had a DEXA at the end of the show, I knew my body fat percentage. I know I've got more muscle than the average woman my age. So look at how much more my muscle burns at rest. 1322 at rest. So that greatly changes my level of conditioning and the number of calories and macros that I need. So I told ChatGPT exactly my body fat percentage, and then I told it I walk 12,000 steps a day and train weights 5 times a week. So then it has more to build me the perfect plan. So these are my numbers here. And then based on my TDEE and my non-exercise activity thermogenesis, my NEAT, this is why you guys want to be walking and fidgeting. They've done lots of studies on how fidgety people are leaner and they burn more calories than regular sedentary desk job. Puts me at moderately active to very active. So this is how much I burn every single day. And if I just wanted to maintain my weight and my physique, that's what I would eat and we'd be good. That's a good maintenance plan. So if you're happy with your body and what you weigh and you don't have any goals to move up or down, then find out your maintenance here. Now, if you want to cut, like let's say I wanted to lose, you know, right here, the initial cut or getting stage lean. I'm 15.4. The fit model stage range is 14 to 17. So it would be a very small cut. Now, let's say you were where I was at in January. Cardio conditioned, but not lean. You know, I was in jujitsu shape. So if you have a ways to go, then these numbers are going to be very different for you, and you're going to need to program in a way that accounts for that long term. So I hopefully show you how to do that here. Now, also, if you're a dude who's like 6'5" and you want to gain, you're going to have to input that because you're not going to want to be cutting right away. You're going to want to be putting on muscle first. So actually a really great piece of advice, and the way that I like to train my clients is, even if they're overweight, I don't like to jump right into a calorie deficit with them. I like to find out where they're at, find out what they're actually eating, and then I like to start weight training just to see how the body responds. So this is where I would say ChatGPT, being an artificial intelligence, probably isn't going to care like an in-person personal trainer would about your shape and about seeing what your body can do in real time. But if you want to see what ChatGPT can do and you prefer the less personable approach, you can also do it this way. Just see what you are at maintenance, or start weight training 5 times a week without a calorie deficit. See how your body responds to that. And then after a while of seeing how your body changes without cutting calories, then cut calories and see what happens. Because once you start turning down the dial of calories, it's hard to go back in. A big mistake people make is that they jump right into cardio, because cardio feels more effective. It feels good to get that sweat and feel like you really did something. But I would say start with weights and steps. I would say don't do the running, don't do the cardio, save the cardio. You don't want to show your body all your cards at once. Your body likes homeostasis. So if you figure out cardio first, it's going to adapt to cardio, and then you're going to have to do more cardio once you cut. So I know that it feels good and it looks good for your sweaty Instagram, but don't show your body all your cards at once. So even that says initial cut, final conditioning. Gives you your macro split here. Solid, neat. Now, the other thing I asked it is, if I'm dieting down, how long before I go into a diet break? You have to have diet breaks, especially if you've got a lot of weight to lose, like a lot of us do. You need to have a 1 to 2 week period. So when I trained from January to August, for 2 weeks in May, I went back up to maintenance. And seriously, guys, this is how vital it is. I came back 4 to 5 pounds lighter when I was far above carbs and maintenance, because my body needed the thyroid and the hormone and the stress break from the depths of training. And everyone's body does need that break. It is stressful to train. And these reasons right here, you're going to need to raise yourself back up to maintenance. Especially, you can't just leave yourself in a deficit and stay there. Your body will adapt, and then all of a sudden you have to do an hour of cardio and stay at 1,200 calories because you made your body used to that. So don't do it, guys. So here we go. If you're this much, this is what it recommends. Diet breaks, take them. This is what to do. It'll tell you exactly what to do. And now, the other thing that you need to know is, once you start going back into that cut, how many pounds before you update your macros? This is the other mistake people make. So, if these are my numbers, if I'm aiming for this is when I adjust. Around 112 to 110 if I'm getting stage lean. And this is how you know it's time. It actually did quite a bit of detail. And the other one that I asked it was, it threw out these macros for me, which actually this is dang near what my trainer and I did for mine. And this is fine for a short time for getting stage lean. And this is almost about the numbers that we used. But I also was under the care of a dietitian, and this is actually for my size way too much. It wasn't when I started, probably, but as I lost weight, the amount of protein was too much and my digestion took a break, and it was affected. And the other thing that people need to remember is it's not just your digestion, it's also your kidneys. Protein is the hardest macro on your kidneys, and I can't tell you the number of people that I've seen go into kidney failure. Like I said, there's a lot of dumb approaches that I've seen in both sports that I participate in. If you want to see dumb approaches to weight cuts, just look at some of the things people have done in wrestling and jiu-jitsu. So I have seen people cut sodium out 3 weeks before. Don't do it. Intestinal blockages that people were hospitalized for because they didn't want to do the hard work of actually cutting down overtime and properly, because it's tradition. Everybody, even the UFC, does it. Okay, so we're not using science in this day and age. Great. In the bodybuilding world, all I have to do is give you news clip after news clip of the number of bodybuilders who dehydrate in a really ineffective way. And this is a dumb way to train. The way that muscles pop is through hydration. Think about it, guys. A flat, dehydrated muscle? Who wants to see that on stage? No, me. Nobody, not me. Plump them up with the water. If you think that you are tubby, it's not a water problem. It's a stage lean problem. Go get your DEXA scan and find out if you're stage lean. Easy peasy. Then hydrate into stage. The protein range debate right here. So my dietitian did say these were too high. So here's the context. And here's the protein range debate that is ongoing. So at least it was honest. I'm glad ChatGPT is aware of this for sports. And then clinical nitrogen balance. So if you're struggling with digestion, you could be eating too much protein. Check with a dietitian, often covered by insurance. Double check with your doctor. We have so many systems in our body, guys, and we only get one. Don't train stupid. You only get one body. And these hobbies are only part of the pie. You have so many other parts of life to live for. Treat your body well. And I did end up post-show going to about 90 grams of protein a day and going much higher on carbs. And I would say that's probably a really good approach for jiu-jitsu too, because remember, in your macros, the carbs give you energy, the fats are for your hormones and your satiation, and the protein, guys, every cell in your body, every system in your body, protein. So you've got to find the right balance for you and the right season for your training. But I would say if you're jiu-jitsu focused and somebody tells you to cut carbs, that's really stupid. Don't do it. So here's the TDEE, non-physique goals. So you have to be, the first one, like I said, was for a physique goal. These are for non-physique goals. And this is kind of like what I said, much higher carbs as the key driver. Protein for performance, not for stage. See how different those training plans are? So once again, this is going to be asking ChatGPT for your training phase, and it'll be the same in jiu-jitsu. Like if you're needing to gradually increase calories to be jiu-jitsu ready, do it in short spurts. Don't just like whoosh your body, overwhelm it. Go gradually. So during long sparring, you're going to need to sip this carb mix. Electrolytes were really key because you sweat a lot in the gi, especially. And then post-training replenishment, going to be huge. So those are the types of questions that I would ask. Once again, BMR, TDEE, then input weight gain, muscle gain, fat loss, what your specific goal is, when you need to get there, safe, smart. Show it to your doctor afterwards. Take diet breaks. And this goes not just for ChatGPT, but for all training. If you've got a trainer telling you to do 900 calories and 3 hours of cardio, or if they're giving you a very extreme plan to get to your destination, don't do it, guys. Like I said, train smart, train hard. You only get one body in this life, and there's so much more to you than just your body. So, until the robots take over, I'll see you in the next video.